And back to our Thursday retro series, The Real Ghostbusters from Kenner. We're on to Wave 2 now. I don't think I showed you the card back from last time, but Wave 1, very simple. Just a few characters were on there. The 4 characters I showed you, and then the 2 ghosts. We did the role play last week. At some point, there was the transition to Wave 2, and the card back changed a little bit, so these figures were reissued. You'll notice on the original, and I told you it was kind of rare to see it, but the Cyclotron had the wire at the bottom. That was only in the first run of these figures. When Wave 2 came out and they reissued the figures, they all had the wire coming out of the bumper on the Cyclotron. So that was where the change happened. But now we're going to have a couple new figures. We have the Bug-Eye Ghost. We have the H2 Ghost. We have Bad to the Bone. We have the Gooper Ghosts over here, Sludge Bucket Squisher and the Banshee Bomber. And we even have the Ecto one. So a lot in this wave. Some more fun card backs I'll show you for the characters as well. But this wave featured a lot more world building. We got the iconic vehicle for the Ghostbusters. And of course, we got the some more ghosts for them to fight. So why don't we get right into it, because this is going to be a little bit lengthier. A couple of fun card backs to show you. Apologize for the sticker. We have Bad to the Bone Ghost here. You can see with Egon and Venkman. And then our H2 Ghost. You got to pronounce that O there. But this is a water squirting ghost that is actually 2 parts. He separates. So this is a really fun one. So let's start with that H2 Ghost. Now, yeah, he squirts water. I don't want to do it all over the desk here, so I'm going to do a quick little cutaway video. You can see he has 2 parts, and both squirt water. The bottom one here squirts it out of the eye, and the top one squirts it out of the nostrils. So you can see both here in action, spraying water. The beam kind of splits 2 ways on the nostrils, which is kind of cool. So you get a lot of coverage of these 2, and they're fun even without the water effect. I had to make sure they're dried before putting them back in storage. But these guys are fun as independent, and then together they have this nice bigger look too. So really fun, just this squishy rubber. Hopefully Hasbro will bring this one back as a classics, because it's a really cool classic one, the H2 Ghost. And he's, you know, great color. I mean, he held up well over the years, and he still functions. As long as you don't pop these little seals on here, these guys will still work, 40 years later. So that is our H2 Ghost. Our next one is the Bad to the Bone Ghost. Now he has a lot of functionality as a little creepy skeleton. His eyes bug out when you move the jaw here. You can see the eyes bug out. And then he has action feature, so his rib cage opens and you could grab a Ghostbuster this way here like this, seal around him. Or you could use the legs and grab a Ghostbuster. The legs pivot down, I believe. They're really fighting me today. But they usually pivot down, and you could grab you see they get a little narrower when you pivot them down, and you could hold a Ghostbuster this way too, and you carry them around and float away. So little action features here for this ghost. This one's a lot of fun. And then they say the third option is you could take you could take the head off, and you could put them on one of the Ghostbusters and make it a fun little feature where the eyes bug out there as you push it down on the head. So I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can. So just some options. So that is your Bad to the Bone Ghost. Little fun, little action features on him. Your other ghost in this line was the Bug-Eye Ghost. Now this one was reissued by Hasbro, and he's got the articulating hands, and then if I get this a little loose, this one's always, okay, maybe not today, but usually if you get the eyeball does shoot out. But what you need to do is, over time, this rubber has become pretty hard. I used to be able to just slam it and it would pop out. I heat it with a hair dryer a little bit, and it gets it a little bit more malleable, and it will make the eyeball shoot out. In this case, it's not working right now, but with pressure, it does work, I promise. You just got to get that seal and get this a little bit more malleable. Maybe I could get it to work and show you in a second, but that is the Bug-Eye Ghost. Essentially disappointing I couldn't get him to work on the spot, but he would launch that ball, and it would have a little reach to it, and would knock over one of your Ghostbusters, and then you'd have to recurl it back up with your finger like this, and put the ball back into the eye socket, essentially. So you'd have to do this little reload, but with this string attached to it, it means you didn't lose it over the years. Whereas a lot of other parts you come to see, we started to lose over time. So that's your Bug Eye Ghost. And then we get to the Gooper Ghost. So this was a series of 3 ghosts that came with, I think they came with the slime. And we'll get to the ectoplasm in a minute. But this guy has articulating hands, and then he's got a jaw. So the jaw here was a very commonly lost part that just helps him like grind up a Ghostbuster or something. And then you put the slime in there, and then up in this part, and then you would push down, and essentially it would just shoot the slime everywhere. And then you'd have this little chomping jaw on there as well. So that was his action feature. So that is called Squisher. And again, that jaw is commonly lost, hard to replace it on the secondary market. This guy, this is Sludge Bucket. So you pour the ectoplasm in here in the top of this area, and then you put somebody in here, and then this tongue will lick around and mash it up. Now he also has this tail. It's a soft part. This is hard plastic. Now this tongue, commonly lost. It's not, it's, you know, you can get it out. It's not easy to get out, but you can get it out. And I guess kids did that over time, myself included, and it just got lost. And now it could be upwards of $100 for an authentic tongue on the secondary market, if you could even find one. It's very easy to lose this, but it's a critical part of Sludge Bucket. You can't do his little lick the lips thing here. But this is Sludge Bucket, kind of Jabba the Hutt-esque, one of the 3 Gooper Ghosts. And the third one is the Banshee Bomber. Now the Banshee Bomber, for some reason, the left wing is the most commonly lost wing. You go look online and everyone's selling a right wing part replacement, not a left wing. I don't know why, but everyone lost the left wing. So this guy would, he would flap his wings just like this. His tail would articulate so you could turn it upside down or up right here. And then the other thing is he pushes all the way forward. Oh, and his wing popped off. And he would drop the ectoplasm out of his mouth onto the target below. So, and then this would just reset, spring load, and then you could flap your wings and then drop your bucket. This I don't have plugged in tight enough. These joints got loose over time, so these wings just popped out, and that's why they're so easy to lose. But this was a fun one. Again, this could be pretty pricey to get a complete one of these, just because those wings kept popping off, as you saw right there. Now, interestingly enough, they came with the ectoplasm, and the ectoplasm came with a little ghost. One of 4 different kinds of ghosts. You got, I call this one the licker. It's got a little tongue on there. I call this one the biter. You can see these little teeth all the way around. You got the eyes on top, and he's got his little hands here. And we have, I guess this one, the swallower or the screamer. He kind of looks like Kirby. He's got a big mouth here with a tongue again. You can see the tail protruding out. And you can see him running along here. And then this one I call the grabber. He's got these grippy hands here and little tail. It looks similar to another one we'll get into later. But these were the 4 you could basically get in this wave. And they came in a variety of colors. So you could get them in purple. You could get them in blue. You could get them in red, obviously. Or you could get them in yellow. So they came in different colors. Each of them came in 4 different colors. I don't have all 4 colors, so unfortunately, they are really hard to track down because these were tiny. They were easy to lose. You might have left them in with the ectoplasm and then threw them out together once that ectoplasm hardened and you couldn't get your figure out. So it's just very hard to find them. They typically sell around $25, $30 on the secondary market. So they can be really hard to find. And purple, oddly enough, is the hardest to find color, but it's the one that's shown with the product in the back of the card. But purple could be the hardest color to find, as you see here. Red was pretty easy. Yellow could be tricky. Blue is more common, but the purple ones, I've only seen 1. So, and this guy in general is really hard to find. You don't see a lot of varieties of him. But yeah, I mean, you can basically get 4 colors of these guys, but these are your core guys. It's the biter, the grabber, the licker, and then I don't want to call them the swallower, but I don't know, the muncher or the screamer, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, so these were the 4 guys you got with the ectoplasm, and you could get them in a variety of colors here. I bet you're saying, wait, I remember having a set of teeth and a nose and some skulls. Yes, those were in later waves, and we'll go through all of those. I do have all of those. There weren't varieties of colors. There were only one color. There were only three of them in each of the can that you'd only get one of those three. So a lot less variety. These were four, and you could get some variety in terms of colors. So that covers us for all the ghosts. I mean, except for the ghost that comes with the Ecto. But we're going to do the Ecto in just a second here. I need to clear off a little bit of space. And here we have our Ecto 1. He comes with this little orange ghost. Now, I showed you the other Ecto 1 in a previous review, the re-release. This one's a little bit squishier, different material. I mean, it's essentially the same. They copied the mold. They got it all in there. It just has the stickers on the doors, a blue sticker on the back, no actual window there. It does have windows, little plastic windows here. It does have opening doors. You can fit your guys in there to drive the Ecto, like such. Or you can put them up in the gunner seat. I mean, we did get a gunner seat in Afterlife, but this one's on top, has the two pivoting cannons, get a little seatbelt on there, and then you can take this off, and it actually fits inside pretty nicely. You'll see a little groove right here, so you can park that in there if you want more of the movie look. But the fun action feature it has is you flick this little switch here, and you're able to pull this out, and you grab your ghost, and then I think you put it, turn it. I think you got to flick it the other way back, and then essentially it will, yeah, except, there we go. This surface is too slick for this, but you'll see it will ratchet your guy in and take him into custody. Oh, I got him clung up on the door because I'm going up and down with the device to get the wheels to work here. But there you go. Here, ratchet him in. And then you have to put it back on the other one to get it to loosen up again. But it works way better than the modern counterpart. I showed you that one just didn't have enough grip. Like this hook really has a grip on it. So it's really easy to get that guy in there. And then again, if you wanted to put your gunner seat in, you could do that. You have to move your ghost out of the way. But yeah, I mean, this gives you another ghost for your set, this little orange one. It's fun that they gave you one to include in here, but this should work with all the other ghosts too. So it shouldn't be exclusive of working with the other ghosts that you got from your Wave 1, the tiny ones, or even some of these guys should work with it too. So you could use them in there. But that is essentially it for the Ecto. I don't want to spend too much time on it because we did a whole review when we did the modern classic reissue, and it's essentially the same. I mean, it's got a little detail on top. It's missing a lot of the little intricacies from the movie, but you still have the little ambulance parts on there. If you wanted to, you could slip some lights in there because these are transparent. You get a little light effect, but this is essentially it. Your character coming in and out. There's a steering wheel on the inside. There's minimal detail on the dash. You could see some speedometers in there and whatnot, but that's really it. But that is essentially your Ecto. You could fit two driver in there, passenger, and then you could throw your other guys in the back. Can't really fit the packs in there because they're a long stream. So it's not really designed to sort of display like the movie. But it's pretty cool, and it's held up pretty well over all these years. These fins tend to break off over time. I've seen a lot of people missing fins. But that is essentially your Ecto 1. And that is essentially Wave 2. I mean, we got it all covered here. We have a bunch of ghosts that you got in this wave. Really fun ones with some action features, a water feature. You got the Gooper ghosts that have the goo feature, and then the Banshee Bomber, of course, with his wings. So you got a lot in this wave. This was a big wave. This really expanded the world beyond just the 4 Ghostbusters and the other ghosts from the film. So now we're really into the show at this point. So I hope you enjoyed this look at covering our Wave 2. Well, that one as well as it could have. We covered a lot in a little bit of time. Got that Bug-Eye Ghost to work. Check it out really quick. Not optimal, but he's still popping. I had to warm him up a little bit. Like I said, that plastic gets really stiff over time. So a little hair dryer on it, get him a little warm, and then he's a little bit more malleable. You're able to eject that eyeball. So yeah, that is it for Wave 2. We got a ton of ghosts in Wave 2. Really helped make this wave pop. We got a core vehicle as its own character. And then we get all these little delightful guys in our ectoplasm with a Z. So these are really tough to track down. I'm still trying to get the rest of the colors to finish out my collection, but they occasionally pop up on eBay. A lot of people might not know what they are, so they might have them in their house and forgot they were associated with Ghostbusters, don't even know how to list them. Sometimes they spell plasm with an S, little tip if you're looking online. So yeah, they could be tricky to track down, but I think they're cool. They got a lot of little charm, and they were fun little designs, and they're figures. I mean, they came with the ectoplasm, but they're also figures, so they increase your little play value with all your characters. So definitely fun to have. We'll check out the other ones in the other waves. We're going to do wave 3 next. So we're going to have new Ghostbusters. There's a few new ghosts. I think there's new vehicles. There's a new roleplay item. So we're probably doing 3 parts of that in March. So tune back for that. We have many, many more to check out. We'll be doing this all the way through October. They're very cool figures in future waves as well. So stay tuned for more. That's all for this time. Like, subscribe, and follow. We'll see you guys next time.